Fan Survey 2023. Let's see how many we can get through. What grade would you give the Cowboys for their offseason? Coaching staff changes, free agency, draft, etc. What grade do you give them, Wolchuk?
I'd go with a B. I think that they made a couple of really good trades with Gilmore and then Brandon Cooks, of course. The coaching staff ones are the ones we'll wait and see. With Mike Solari, how does that end up working out? I was totally okay with moving on from Kellen Moore. I think that they had a solid draft. There's players that I like, but there were some players maybe I would have personally taken over the ones that they did end up selecting. So I'd go a B. I think they did a solid job this year.
Chief?
Yeah, I think C+ to a B for sure. The trades are definitely one that puts it over the top. The decision to move on from Kellen Moore, I think, was the right one. We'll see, as you mentioned, Wolchuk, like who they replaced him with. We'll see if that all pans out. We're not really sure until the season really gets going on that one. But the Tony Pollard franchise tag, to me, I think was a mistake. And, keeping Tyron Smith around in a capacity that you're really trying to, you have to depend on him, I think is a mistake as well. But, gosh, those trades for Gilmore and Cooks were just huge.
Pro department had an A, college scouting department had a B, and the coaching is a C+. There's just too much turnover going on the offensive side of the ball. I think you have to give them some marks, high marks, though, for keeping Dan Quinn and that kind of together. But I would I broke it down into 3 categories. Like I say, pro department with the trades, what they were able to do. The college, we'll see on the draft, is a B. Mozzie Smith is a big part of that. Schoonmaker's a big part of that. We'll see. But the coaching, I just think, again, that's the one area I'm not really trusting what they're doing with all the turnover on the offensive side of the ball.
They need that to be a hit bad.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I hope it is.
I'd probably give them a B+ right now. I think they did a lot of good, but there was just a couple of things that prevent me from giving them the A. How far will the Cowboys go this season? Miss the playoffs, wild card, division, title game, Super Bowl? What are they going to do, Wolchuk?
I think history tells you it's probably a divisional round playoff loss until proven otherwise, right? It seems like that's just a door that they can't crack open.
The only other option in my mind is losing the wild card round. How about you, Brian?
Kind of feel like it's an 11-6 team, and that's going to put you on the road in the first round. I think that's going to be the difficult aspect of where you're going to go there. I'll say they'll win the wild card game and lose in the divisional round.
Okay.
Yeah, wild card or divisional round makes the most sense.
Who will win the NFC East?
Eagles.
Philadelphia.
The Giants.
Wow. No. Are you going to stick with that all summer?
I don't know. But today, right now, I'm not
I like
picking
what
the
you
damn
did there.
Eagles.
I knew you wanted to change. It's going to be the Cowboys.
It's not going to be the Eagles. No repeat champions happen in this division, and I don't think they're going to end up doing it. I think we're going to get a surprise.
I'm surprised Brian didn't pick his favorite team, Washington.
The Commanders. That is my favorite team.
Well, if Sam Howell does it, watch out for them, because if he's any good, they've got a good roster.
They got a good roster, though. To me, I think that the Commanders will finish. They potentially
maybe finish better than the Giants. I don't know.
I think they're going to be the 3rd team in the division.
This division's going to be good.
How do you feel about the current state of the team? Heading in the right direction? Heading in the wrong direction? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I would say I have no idea, and then heading in the right direction more so than heading in the wrong one.
Yeah.
They're not, they're not like tail spinning and, oh my gosh, the decisions they keep making, it looks like they're just shooting themselves in the foot.
I mean, they could win it. I feel like they put themselves close enough. They're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot of good.
If I had to choose one of those, but there is some sort of confusion in here, though. That's why I might go, I have no idea on this, because you're really dependent on the rest of the league falling apart. We need Mahomes and Burrow and Allen to not be in the Super Bowl. And, you need a really down NFC year, which we've had, but they still haven't been able to get through that, Brian. So I would say they're going to be a pretty dang good team, but not good enough to win it all. And it's tough to say what the rest of the league's going to do around them.
I have really no idea because of what I talked about with the coaching staff on the offensive side. We don't know with Mike McCarthy as the primary play caller. We'll see. Is Dak Prescott going to be continually upset that he no longer has his quarterback coach here? Doug Nussmeier. Can Scott Tolzien pull things together? Can he help Dak like nobody else has helped Dak? I think there's just a lot of unknown there right now.
I think this year, I'm optimistic that there's a chance you get like less impressive stats, but more consistent and more reliable game plans. Will the Cowboys reach the Super Bowl in the next 5 years? I would vote resoundingly no on that.
Will they reach the Super Bowl in the next 5 years? No, I don't know how you could predict that they will.
No, the answer is no.
Other than
yes.
just very, very good fortune.
I'd love to say yes. I can't do it.
I'm going to say yes because I do. We're going to learn a lot about what happens with Mike McCarthy this time around. Either this is going to work out, whether the offense, everything comes around, it's comfortable for Dak. They start to put things together. Defensively, we know they're pretty good. I kind of feel if they figure this offensive thing out with Dak and how to make it work and be successful at it, it might not be this year as far as, but, this offense, it might not be this year. It might be the second year or the third year. But if they kind of get it figured out the right way, I think that they're going to be able to sign their guys like the Diggs, the Lambs, Parsons, guys like that, and they'll continue to draft and add players. So, yeah, I'd say the next 5 years they make the Super Bowl.
I mean, we've been having these kind of topics for 20 years, it seems like. It's been so long. Can they do it now? Will they get back now?
This conference is for the taking now.
The conference is down 100%, but I don't know. If they can't do it this year, I don't know that it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Teams fall apart, and maybe the Niners will, maybe the Eagles will, and after that, I don't know anybody else that really scares me inside the conference. So maybe they're just a couple of injuries away from being back in there.
They win the division, they've got a shot to win the Super Bowl this year.
Who will the Cowboys head coach?
Be in the Super Bowl? Excuse me.
Yeah. Cowboys head coach next year: McCarthy, Quinn, Jerry Jones, or other. This is an offseason survey inside the Athletic. We're kind of filling it out as we go. I'm going to say Mike McCarthy there, guys. How about you?
I'm going Dan Quinn.
I'm going Dan Quinn as well.
A lot of questions on the offensive staff. It'd be easy to say Dan Quinn. I think McCarthy stays.
That's right. You want to do a show bet against them? Bet payoff?
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
You'd be happy to do that?
I'd be happy to take Mike McCarthy.
No, I'm just being honest about it. There's so many questions on the offense, but if they do figure this thing out.
Oh, if they figure it out, then yeah, McCarthy will be around. But if they end up not making the Super Bowl, losing in the divisional round, I think you got to make a change. And I think that
you weren't here when I asked this question on the Sports Mix about, do you feel like that the hot seat is a media-driven thing, or does the front office really believe he's on the hot seat?
I think where we stand right now, it's media driven. I don't think he is on the hot seat with that front office at all, but that changes if you crash and burn and fail again in the postseason for the third consecutive year in a row and don't get to a conference championship. I think the pressure will be too much, and the Joneses will have to make a move.
All righty, this one is open-ended for you guys. It is a fill-in-the-blank. Who is the Cowboys' most overrated player?
Overrated?
It's probably, in my mind, I guess it would be Trayvon Diggs.
That's a good one. Boomer bust type of corner. Is Leighton Vander Esch in that?
I think Leighton Vander Esch is just hurt too much.
Yeah.
And he was really, really good when he played last year.
Yeah.
So
Terrence Steele in there?
You know what? Overrated right now, and I love him to death, but it's Tyron.
Oh, Tyron Smith. Yeah, well,
I don't know. I think we need to see this. Like, is Tyron still, even if he's playing on the left side, is he as good on the left side as he once was? I think there's questions about that play diminishing.
Overrated, Brian?
I think it's Tyron Smith. Yeah.
Which of these players would you like to see the Cowboys get a new contract done with first? Dak, CD, Trayvon Diggs, Tony Pollard, Terrence Steele.
CD.
Yeah, it would be CD Lamb.
That's the only one to answer, isn't it? I mean, obviously, if you get a long-term deal done with Dak, something like what Patrick Mahomes did, where it gives a flexibility to the team, that might be better overall.
I don't think the agent is going to allow that. I'm going to say Diggs because I think Diggs is going to be the hardest one to do.
Which rookie will make the biggest impact this season? Mozzie, Scooney, DeMarvion Overshone, the linebacker, Fehoko, the defensive lineman, or Deuce Vaughn, or other?
Schoonmaker, in my opinion.
I'll say Mozzie Smith and then Deuce Vaughn, actually.
Yeah, I'd go that same order. I'd go Mozzie, Deuce, Overshone.
Man, I hope it's Schoonmaker if they get that kind of player. But, yeah, I think Mozzie Smith is the easy one. I mean, it just seems like that kind of strength is going to be fairly plug and play. Or is there more to learn in there, Brian? I like what you guys are doing there. I just feel like, though, that with Schoonmaker, they're going to need him to be big.
They do.
Which veteran addition will make the biggest impact? Ronald Jones, Chuma Edoga, Stephon Gilmore, Brandon Cooks. It's got to be Gilmore. I think he might be the most overrated player on this team right now because of his age, and people are talking about him like he's an elite corner. But he has the ability to have a massive impact if he can't hang on for one more year at that level.
Oh, Stephon Gilmore?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Stephon Gilmore is going to be. I think he's going to be good. I trust him with Dan Quinn. That pass rush that he's going to get to play behind. I think he'll be. I think he's going to be super solid.
I'm going Brandon Cooks, though, for more of a bigger impact because I think they desperately needed a legit number 2 option that's consistent behind CD. I do think Michael Gallup bounces back, but I think Brandon Cooks is a better player.
Cooks.
Okay, which player's departure will be the toughest to replace? Zeke, Schultz, Connor McGovern, Noah Brown.
Connor McGovern.
Oh, they didn't lose anybody.
Yeah, probably.
Out of those 4, I'd go McGovern.
Probably McGovern. I mean, I do wonder when you need a late game back-breaking dropped ball that results in an interception for a game-losing touchdown. I wonder who's going to replace Noah Brown from that standpoint.
Wow, there were a lot of them, too. Which tight end's going to have the best season, Brian? Ferguson, Scooney, Hendershot, McEwen.
I'm going to go again with Schoonmaker there.
Big believer in Schoonmaker.
I am. I think Michigan's scheme didn't help him as far as I think he's a good receiver of the football.
I agree with you, Brian. I think Scooney's a good player, but I think Jake Ferguson's going to have the best year.
Yeah, they're just different. Schoonmaker is going to be the guy that I think the scouts appreciate. Yeah. Ferguson's going to be the guy who's making people miss and is more highlight friendly. And I don't know. It's going to be tough to say for sure how Schoonmaker could have a better season than Ferguson because I think Ferguson's going to light things up. And, in the end, it's production and catches and moving the chains that matters most. Although Schoonmaker's a hell of an old school tight end, I just think they overdrafted him in the second round. It makes me nervous.
I mean, you keep bringing up Hendershot, and I love Hendershot.
They really do love Hendershot over there.
But there's something about Jake Ferguson to me. I think people sleep on him a little bit.
I'm with you on that, Walchuk.